Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Liberated Body Circle. Today we are focusing on strategies that we can use for reconnecting with our bodies. So we will go through a few simple, easy to do exercises that you can do either accompanied by this video or by yourself whenever you need them. And if you have a mat that you'd like to sit on, or if you're seated on the floor, either way, we will do part of this practice standing if that's comfortable for you. If you prefer to stay on the ground, you can do that as well. But just to get a little bit of a different variety to find ourselves in different planes of space, I will participate in the first part of these activities from the standing position. So go ahead and get comfortable, choose the position that you like, and let's go ahead and get started. So I'm taking a standing position to start today. And to begin, I'm just going to focus on my feet for a moment. I'm going to notice, and I invite you to notice, the sensation that you have beneath your feet. And maybe we could even rock from side to side a little bit just to take note of where our gravity is in this moment. So shifting your body effortlessly from side to side. And now we'll also move forward and backwards. So just gently shifting our body weight in different directions. Just to ground into this moment, to notice where we are. If you're seated, you can do this very same movement simply by shifting your body weight over to one side or the other. And you can still do this forward and back movement, maybe hinging at the hips to get a little bit of that sensation. But you can still play even from a seated position. Do whatever feels comfortable for you. In all of these practices of the Liberated Body Circle, anything that is proposed is simply an invitation. You can always find a way to adjust or a way to do the practice that is suitable for the amount of space you have, for what you're feeling like your body needs, and simply following what you know you need in this moment. So if you're standing with me, let's keep grounding into the feet. Maybe wiggle the toes. Even if you're seated, you can still wiggle your toes. Let's wiggle the fingertips. And let's begin with our first exercise for today, which I like to call the mindfulness body scan. So to do this, we're basically going to say hello to every single part of our bodies, all the way from our head down to our toes. And I like to do this by closing my eyes. If that's comfortable for you, you're invited to do that as well. So go ahead and take in a deep breath. And exhale. Gently closing your eyes if that feels good. And what we're going to do here is say hello to every single part of our body, starting with the crown of your head. So I automatically went to touch the crown of my head. You don't have to touch it if you don't want to. But shift your focus to the crown of your head, noticing if there are any thoughts that are present, if there is any particular sensation that you're feeling or an emotion that's connected to the crown of your head. And now let's move from the crown of our head to the back of your cranium, noticing whatever feelings are present there, saying hello to this part of your body. And then that can extend into your facial muscles, your mouth, your jaw. Notice if you're clenching your jaw or if there's any particular amount of tension in this part of your body. Right now is just a practice of observation. So if you feel compelled to change something, you can. But right now we're really just observing without any judgment. And now you can go from your jaw into the neck and your cervical spine. saying hello to these parts of your body. And now your shoulders and into your arms and your upper extremities on both the left and right side. So now say hello to these parts of your body. And now we can move into the upper and middle back, noticing what's happening in that part of your body. Saying hello again, noticing if there's any tension present, or maybe your body feels fully relaxed in these parts. And then let's move that over to the front side of your body, so into your heart center and your belly, noticing if anything's happening with your digestion today, saying hello and simply observing. Then we can move that into the womb and the hips. If you have any menstrual pain or anything that's happening in that region, simply say hello and acknowledge with compassion. And then let's move to your backside, into the glutes and the lower back, the smalls of your back even. And then we can move down to the front, the side, and the back part of your upper legs. So quadriceps, hamstrings, these muscles, noticing what's happening there, if there's any tension present, if you're feeling good, if you're feeling strong, if there's a particular emotion connected to this part of your body. And then we can shift the awareness down to the knees, all the way around that 360-degree range. Then from the knees, go ahead and say hello to the part that's between your knees and your ankles. So we've got your shins and your calf muscles there. And then finally, we've arrived to your ankles, noticing what's happening in this part of your body. And then finally, the tops of your feet, your heels, the ball of your feet and the sole, and all 10 toes. Now, if you're standing or even sitting, try to make a connection between your 10 toes and the earth, gently pushing, activating a little bit of strength. And then let's do that with the 10 fingers as well. So let's push our 5 fingers, our 10 fingers into each other and activate a little bit of strength just in these parts of your body. And we're going to breathe here. So inhale deeply through the nose and exhale ever so slowly. And let's try that again together. So go ahead and inhale through the nose and exhale. Find a rhythm that works for you and repeat that a few times. So thinking about pressing your toes into the ground, pressing your fingertips into each other, and continuing with a rhythm of breathing that works for you in this moment. Try to make it a goal to fill up your lungs completely with oxygen, then to gently exhale through the nose in a rhythm and a time that works for you. And let's take 3 more breaths on our own doing that. So this is a moment where we are challenging ourselves to find the stillness, even though we've got parts of our body that are engaged and that are still staying pretty strong here. It's a bit of a life metaphor to learn how to find stillness in a world that is demanding we almost never relax, in a world that's demanding that we keep going, where there's so much pressure from work, from family, from school. So take this moment for yourself to experience that moment of stillness. We can take 1 more breath here. And let's gently start to release. If your eyes were closed, I invite you to gently blink your eyes open. to release the tension in your feet. Maybe we could do a few ankle circles, opening our toes, looking at our feet, noticing our bodies, developing this conversation with our bodies. Let's go to the other side, do a few ankle circles there. And again, spreading your toes as far as you can. And we can do the same with the fingers. So taking a few wrist rotations, going one direction, and then the other, just to let go of any tension if you were clenching from engaging these parts of your body during that activity. And now is an invitation to think about the parts of your body, or remember the parts of your body where you noticed, I have a little bit of tension here. For example, I noticed that I was tensing up my face muscles quite a bit while my eyes were closed. So I'm going to try to now soften, and the invitation is for you to try to soften whatever muscles or tension you noticed in your body. So you can do that through a little bit of movement. If you were clenching up your facial muscles like I was, it could mean opening the jaw really wide, almost as if you're taking a big yawn. So taking that moment to open, relax, soften in any way that you can, and using your breath to guide this movement. If you felt that you had a little bit of tension in your shoulders, go ahead and roll those shoulders out. Ooh, I'm noticing now that I have a little bit of tension there. So whatever information you were able to get from your body, just from the mindfulness body scan, use that to say hello, to come back to those parts of your body, and to do what you can to give a little bit of relief. It could just mean a simple movement. It could mean a breath. So give you a few minutes to do that. If you had some tension in the hips, maybe you need a little bit of movement in your hips from side to side. You can copy the movements that I'm making, but try to make it your own. Try to go to where your body needs a little bit of attention. In somatic practices, it's really about developing this conversation with yourself and learning, how can I give myself what I need in those moments when I am aware of what I am feeling on a physical level or on an emotional level. So somatics is really establishing that communication, having that open conversation with yourself so that you can effectively give your body what it needs in the moments that it needs it. And we now have some friends who are going to join us through the rest of this practice. So I hope you don't mind their presence. I hope if your animals and your children are nearby that you're inviting them to join this practice with you. Sometimes we have no other choice. Okay, so hopefully you've had a few minutes to have that conversation with your body, to go to those parts of your body that felt a little bit tense and to move them out, whether those were your shoulder shrugs, something in your hips, even neck rotations. Neck rotations are a big one for me because I tend to carry a lot of stress and tension in my upper shoulders. And, maybe we can actually do a few of those together. So let's just drop our head over to one side. We can drop it to the center and then over to the other side. And again, so we're doing half moon circles here. I tend to come back to this quite often because I feel this tension in my body, and it's something that feels really good when I think about doing it. Maybe you are also carrying some tension in this part of your body. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to do an activity where we find the outline of our bodies. So you can do it a couple of ways. It could just be a matter of pressing into your body and finding the shape, feeling the shape as you're looking at your body and pressing into it. You could also gently caress your body and notice every movement and every sensation that you feel when you're doing this. So I invite you to do this. You can join me and follow the steps that I take to do this, or you can do it on your own in a way that you prefer. I'm starting with my arms here, and then I'm going to go into my shoulders. So really, we're just looking for the shape of our bodies from head to toe. So noticing the ridges, noticing that unique shape of your body as you're touching, feeling through the hands. So again, establishing this connection to yourself, finding a way to find the shape of your body, even your backside, in any way you can. So I'm going to move over to the hips and down the legs. For the lower body, I think I'll come down to my mat. So if you'd like to sit down and do this as well, you're welcome to. So again, I'm still finding the shape of my body. Oh, and we've got some friends here. Hello, cuties. Hello, hello. Hello. Okay, so continue finding the outline of your body all the way down to your toes. If you'd like to take a seat to find the outline of your toes, you can do that. Oh, I've got a friend here who I don't know if he'll let me do that right now, so I'm going to stay standing. But you can find the outline of your feet as well. I hope that if your animals are around you, that you're allowing them to participate in this practice if that's the only option that you have. Your children as well. I know that when we are taking part in these practices from home, sometimes we do have other distractions. So we can do our best to work with them, to invite them into our space, as much as we would love to have our space be our own sometimes. And we find ways to manage. So, okay, and so after finishing that activity, I invite you to close your eyes once again. You can be standing or you can be seated, and take a moment to observe and notice whatever emotions, sensations, thoughts, images are appearing for you after having this very close contact with your body. So just take a moment to observe and think about that. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes, taking a mental note of whatever you noticed is happening in your body at present. And now let's just take a couple of stretches together. So I'm going to take a wide-legged stretch here, just to relieve a little bit of pressure from my back. I've got a friend here again. Her name is Mira. And then we can stretch our arms out to one side. Oh, hello, Mira. Stretch our arms over to one side. Hello there. And then we can stretch over to the other side. Remember that in your practice, nothing has to be done perfectly. Listen to what your body needs. Listen to what your body is telling you. Something that's really important to remember as we are developing a somatic practice is that if we're ever feeling some kind of painful sensation, for example, if this stretching posture created some kind of pain for you, that's your body trying to tell you something. And it's probably telling you that something is not quite working for your body today. So that's always a sign that we need to back up a little bit. So now I invite you to just engage in some free movement. You can move your arms, move your legs. So finding some free movement just for you. breathing through it. We did a lot of really stationary movement today, so if you feel like you need to move around your space and you've got space to do that, please also feel free to do that as well. I'm just going with whatever my body is telling me. You're welcome to join me in this movement or do something else if your body needs something else. And to close the practice, we'll share a few breaths. So let's go ahead and take a big inhale, lifting our arms up overhead. Exhale, coming all the way down to the ground. And again, a big inhale, lifting arms and our gaze overhead. Exhale, dropping our entire bodies. One more. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, arms to heart center, coming all the way down. And then let's inhale once again to meet here in the center. And I just want to thank you for joining me in this practice today. This is a journey that's just begun, and I'm hoping that we are going to grow these practices into something that we can engage in with a big community of people who also want to get to know their body, who also want to get to know somatic practices. If you experience something that you feel like you would like to process or share in community, then I invite you to leave a comment after the session in the Liberated Body and Mind Studio. If you are not part of the studio yet, then please message me for the link. You can also find the link to the studio present in the description of this video, so you can find it immediately there, but also feel free to get in touch. If you have any questions about anything that we did in the practice, you're also welcome to send me a quick email. My email address is marjorie@liberatedbodymind.com. Thank you so much again for joining me in today's session. I hope that you were able to learn something about your body today. Take care.